For your chance to win a daily prize of £1,000, download the Raffler app today. There's a referral link in the description to the Google Play and App Store. Use that link and get an extra £100 bonus added to your daily prize. Also, over on g2a.com, use the promo code CHES to get a discount on your Xbox, PlayStation codes and games. Link in the description down below. Hey guys, welcome to my first video solely revolving around FIFA 17 career mode. There's been a lot of information released over the past 24 to 48 hours, and we'll be having a closer look here at some of the good and some of the bad that has come to light over the past couple of days. There'll be links in the description to my sources, one article from the EA website and one article from the Foothead website. We'll cover the good first, and then we'll head into the perhaps not quite so good and the bad a little bit later on in the video. So let's start with the good, the new additions that are coming to FIFA 17. We start with Total Club Management. I'll be flicking up some screenshots on screen throughout the video. I'm sure you've probably already seen the majority of these, so if you want to just tab out of this, minimize it and just listen to what I've got to say, then feel free to do just that. If you want to have a look at the screenshots, you haven't seen them yet or maybe not looked at them in such detail, then of course feel free to stick with the video. Now we start with Total Club Management. And the basic gist of this particular area of career mode is with regards the expectations from the board. Currently in FIFA 16 and in a number of previous FIFAs, things only revolve around the season that you're playing at that particular moment. They want you to win the league or qualify for the playoffs, avoid relegation, etc. And you'll also have standards for domestic cup success. Let's use Real Madrid as the example, considering they're the team on screen. They'll probably want you to win La Liga. Now, not only are things graded from 1 downwards, critical, high, medium, and low, you also get short and long-term objectives. So, for example, clearly, Real Madrid want immediate success in all competitions, but say you're a side that are, say, top 4 in the Premier League, you might have a short-term goal of winning the Premier League in that particular year, but you might have a longer-term goal of winning the Champions League within 4 years, something like that. So you have both the short-term immediate success that you know that the club want that particular season, but you also have something to set your sights on further into the series. So you could perhaps start a career mode and you know that you're going to have to work towards something. You don't kind of have to just make up your own expectations for a YouTube series, etc. It gives you something right from the off that you can work towards throughout your YouTube series, and then your viewers, etc., from a YouTuber's point of view, will know what your exact expectations are and what you're working towards through the series, so they can help you achieve that goal with regards to transfers, etc., and tactics, when you obviously take advice from the people in the comments section. Now, moving on from those particular things that we already have, they're just a little bit more detailed with regards, domestic success and continental success, what they want from basically league and cup finishes. You also now have a number of other things that the board will ask from you. You can see 3 different criteria there. Band exposure? No, you're not. You're not publicising any bands. Brand exposure, financial, and youth development. Now, these will vary dramatically depending on what club you're at. Obviously, you can see on screen that the brand exposure for Real Madrid is critical. However, the financial tab is set to low. Now, obviously, Real Madrid already have a number of digits in their bank account, so financial success isn't necessarily in their main priorities. However, should you be at a smaller club, for example, my club, Cambridge United, financial success, or at least financial stability, is very, very high on the agenda. So I would presume that financial and youth development as well would be high and or critical. Perhaps youth development might be critical because the financial situation isn't as good. The board might want you to bring through youth players through the system to then hopefully, for example, as a short-term and long-term goal, bring through a number of players from the youth development side into the first team, have them play a certain amount of matches, have them grow by a certain amount of value, and then maybe sell them on for as much money as you possibly can to help with the financial tab. That could be one way in which it works at smaller clubs, but it will vary dramatically from the clubs at the top end of world football and at the lower end of the spectrum with regards in-game on FIFA, which is great. Obviously, as things stand right now, you have just league expectations, get promoted, don't get promoted, finish in the playoffs, and that's it from season to season. But if you have like a long-term goal with regards to your brand exposure for a large club, you could perhaps expand to the Oceanic region, and you might be able to achieve that by playing a pre-season tournament in Australia, or maybe signing a player from that area of the world, and that might help you meet the brand exposure criteria. Obviously, a short-term goal perhaps for a larger club could be achieve a certain amount of money in shirt sales, and we'll get on to how you might do that in a moment. Moving on from the expectations, you are now actually able to see how you're getting on with regards to those expectations in this separate screen. You can see here that you can see all of your current objectives as an overview, so you can see everything that the board want from you on the short term and the longer term. You can see there it says within 2 seasons in the Champions League, win the cup, and you have 2 seasons to achieve that particular goal. That's an example of a longer term expectation from the board, although continental success is critical. So if you don't win the Champions League within 2 years, you'll most likely have a very negative impact on the thing you can see in the top left and at the top of the objectives overview panel, the manager popularity rating. Now this is going to fluctuate with regards to your on-pitch expectations or on-pitch performances, and crucially with your performances comparatively to your objectives, whether that be in any of the separate criteria: youth development, brand exposure, financial, etc. And it will show you a little symbol next to it when you've done something to either positively influence it or negatively influence it. Should it go too low, the numbers will start to appear in red, so you know you have to buck your ideas up and start to do a little bit better either on the pitch or with regards to the rest of your objectives. So moving away from the objectives for now, perhaps having a little bit closer look at the financial side of things in particular, because of course earlier on we mentioned about actually maybe raising a certain amount of money from shirt sales, etc. And you can now view more closely where your money is coming in and going out. With regards to money coming in, you'll be able to see revenue generated from player transfers and loans, from ticket revenue, from shirt sales, and from the outgoing point of view, you'll be able to see things from stadium management or maintenance, sorry, to even little things like team travel costs, which do in real life have a big effect on the amount of money that the club has to play with regards to their overall balance. And you'll be able to see the club's net worth, as you can see on screen here, and what the projection is for the upcoming period. As you can see with regards to Real Madrid here, they've got a very small profit margin because their expenses almost exactly match their earnings. Obviously, at a bigger club, expenses with regards to player wages, etc., will be a lot larger. However, at a smaller club, earnings might be a lot lower because you won't get as much money from TV revenue, you won't get as much money from shirt sales or ticket revenue, etc. You'll perhaps have to improve your attendance levels. There is a goal or an expectation from the board to improve your overall attendance figures. You might be asked to, quote-unquote, sell out a number of games, which you don't actually have to sell every single ticket, but within 95% plus of ticket sales for a game. The only unfortunate thing is you're not able to dictate what your ticket prices and shirt prices are. So yes, you can see what is going on with shirt sales and ticket prices, etc., but you can't actually adjust them at all. Say attendances are a little bit lower, it would be nice to be able to go in, perhaps make ticket prices a little bit cheaper to encourage more people to come in and watch. So presumably the only way you'll be able to increase attendances is through on-field performances. Again, equally, if you're not getting as many shirt sales as you might like, it would be nice to be able to drop the price slightly to encourage further sales. That's perhaps the next step for this particular improvement into career mode, or this next extra bit of in-depth detail. Things are coming along, but as far as I'm concerned, they aren't yet as far along as we might like them to be. Moving away now from the actual expectations of career mode to what you can actually do with your manager. Now, previously you were just able to select your name and your appearance, and that was it. You were given no further input as to what your manager actually looked like or what you could do. We could basically do nothing with him, and he wasn't even involved in the manage mode at all. Now, as you can see, you can select your own avatar and he's fully rendered out, etc., and he will be involved in a number of cutscenes, like shaking hands with the opposition manager before the game or after the game, and the camera will flash to him for reactions from like a goal scored or a chance narrowly missed, etc. Now, again, as was the case with the previous financial side of things, is a great step in the right direction. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not quite as in-depth as we would like it to be. Yes, it's nice to have our own in-game manager that actually has cutscenes on him, etc. And obviously all of the Barclays Premier League managers are in the game this year as well. However, it would be nice to use your game face and have you on the sidelines. That was more what we were after with regards improvements to the actual managerial character, etc. Be nice to give him a pre-rendered face, yes, and it will definitely be in addition to the career mode, but it's not quite as in-depth and as detailed as we wanted. We have game face currently on EA Sports games with regards all of the various sports games, but you're not able to add your game face to your manager in game. And one thing on the game face thing, I'm not actually sure whether game face will work at all for a My Player series either, because I don't know whether it's the current game face software is revolving around the Ignite engine, and whether you'd actually be able to transition across from that game face on Ignite to use it on FIFA 17 on the Frostbite engine. I'm not sure whether they will remove game face altogether or whether you'll have to redo your game face for My Players type series, but the one thing we know for sure is that you aren't able to put your managerial face onto your managerial character, unfortunately. Now, one extra area of an improvement to the FIFA 17 career mode circle is the inclusion of the J-League over in Japan. It's a fantastic addition to the series. It's nice, always nice to have new leagues added to the game, etc. It gives you a variety of different clubs to manage and to go to in a My Player series. Unfortunately, from a YouTuber's point of view, I don't quite think that the J-League will offer enough exposure for your channel, etc. with regards bringing in new viewers. It's not the largest of leagues. It's not able to have the same sort of draw to a channel that the big European leagues have. So whilst it is, like I say, very, very good to have new leagues in the game for the average player from a YouTuber's point of view, I'm not as hyped about the J-League being in the game as perhaps I could be. But it's always a good thing to have new games and new teams, in the game, and new licensing. Like, we're going to have the full La Liga licensing in FIFA 17 career mode this year, and that is always a great step, especially with the larger European leagues. Now let's move from the good to the bad side of the news that we've had come out from FIFA 17 career mode so far. This is almost solely taken from the Foothead article that you'll find in the description down below. The guy's got about 6 hours hands-on with FIFA 17 career mode, and there were a number of frustrating things. We've touched on a couple of them so far, with regards to the inability to edit your manager too much, and the inability to edit certain financial parameters like shirt prices and ticket prices, etc. Now, we've been crying out for things like press conferences to be improved, and for the transfer system to be improved, and for the extra detail with regards player contracts, etc., buyout clauses and buyback clauses, and multiple, like, buy a player but loan him back to the club that he's currently at for a year clause, and a lot of different things like that. Unfortunately, press conferences, the same. Match simulation is the same as well. You're not able to jump in and make a substitution halfway through a game, etc., and you still can't interact with the match at all once it gets going. Player conversations are still exactly the same as they are this year. Youth Academy is still exactly the same. Team management is still exactly the same. The global transfer network is still exactly the same. Pre-season tournaments, squad reports, the way that the news work, the majority of the menus, etc., training as well, player training, is all exactly the same. Actually, that's not specifically true. The player training will still be the same with regards to the name of the drills, but there will be a couple of new skill games added in to the game of FIFA 17 as a whole that you can then use in the training, etc. But with regards to the actual training drills that you're able to do name-wise and what they actually do to your player's stats, everything is exactly the same. So it's particularly frustrating from that point of view. We are obviously absolutely delighted with the new things that have been added in to FIFA 17 this year. I think the in-depth look you can now have at the variety of different things that the board want from you with regards to expectations and objectives, that's a fantastic step in the right direction, and really adds more uniqueness to each and every career mode, especially with regards a larger side and a smaller side. Doing a series like I'm hopefully going to do at some point in FIFA 17, a Road to Glory series with my local side, Cambridge United, and that will be completely different to the series that I'll do at the beginning of the year with a larger side. So it adds a lot more variety to the sort of expectations you've got and the sort of things you're hoping to achieve on and off the pitch with regards to your criteria at those clubs. That's a fantastic step in the right direction. The only thing that we're missing now is, again, the little details. We'd like to actually have more interaction with our players, to be able to respond to them, rather than them say they want more playing time and you either play them or you don't, or they say they want more money and you either play them or you don't. With regards to press conferences, etc., it would be nice to actually be able to have a proper full-on press conference where you get asked questions and you can respond to questions. We've seen with The Journey that that sort of functionality is in the game, but it's only in The Journey where you can actually give individual responses to press conferences, etc., that might actually affect the way that you play or your team plays or opposition plays, etc. So we can see it coming, and it's in the game. It's just not in the game mode yet. There are things in The Journey, like that press conference mechanic, that we would love to see in career mode. And perhaps as an introduction to career mode, they want to have that in a purely scripted manner with regards to the Journey series or Journey game mode. And then perhaps if it goes down well and it works well, they'll integrate it into full career mode next year perhaps. But things are definitely improving. They're just not necessarily improving at the rate that the majority of the career mode fans would like. There are a number of things with regards career mode that are still very, very unrealistic, especially when it comes to things like the fixture congestion, etc. It's just, apparently the fixture congestion thing is still an issue. You'll have a game on a Sunday and then a Tuesday, or a Monday and then a Wednesday, and there wasn't any reports yet from the Foothead guys of any stuff being scheduled literally the very next day, but it's probably safe to presume that that is still going to be an issue in FIFA 17 career mode, as it has been for 4 or 5 years now in career mode. It's the little things like that that just take away the immersion. It's great to have all the extra features, but the extra features are nullified by all of the unrealistic things that are still in career mode. So I'm hyped for FIFA 17 career mode. I'm really excited to get cracking with it, but the majority, well, not the majority, but a number of things are still going to be exactly the same, which is frustrating from a YouTuber's point of view, but it is going to be better. FIFA 17 career mode will be better than FIFA 16 career mode. It just won't be as good as it has the potential to be, which has been the case for every single FIFA iteration for the last 5 or 6 years. They make slight improvements, but it's just a brand new set of shiny keys for the old banger of a car you've been driving for 6 years. It's not yet enough. We need a new engine. We need new panels. We need new interior. We need new details to our car. We need new details and new detailing to career mode. That's the next step. We don't want these big sweeping changes. It's amazing as it is with regards to big functionality of the career mode. We just want the little details, the player contract details, the press conferences, the right player rulings, etc., especially when it comes to my player, where you will not get cup tied, etc., if you move mid-season, or even that's the case in full manager career mode as well. We're taking steps in the right direction with EA. Things are definitely moving the right way. They're just not necessarily moving at a fast enough pace for the career mode audience to be fully satisfied with the product that we're getting. But at the same time, that being said, Ultimate Team is always going to take their main focus, as that's the game mode that literally makes them billions. So there's not much we can do from our point of view other than continually raise our voice and let them know that we want more. And that is what I and other YouTubers will be doing, and I presume that's what you as audience members and as fellow game players will also be doing whenever we get the opportunity to. So drop this video a like if you enjoyed. We've covered the good and the bad. Check out the articles in the description to Foothead and to the EA article as well, and have a read for yourselves. Foothead also put a video up on their channel too. I'll link that in the description down below as well. That's where the majority of my information came from. So I'll say thank you to those guys for putting the effort in to writing a very, very good article, actually, a very detailed article that was particularly good fun to read and particularly insightful as a read as well. And the video they put up on their channel was very good too. So this video is coming close to 20 minutes now, so I'm going to stop talking. But thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too for more FIFA 16 and, of course, when it arrives, FIFA 17 content as well. But for now, I'll see you next time.